Career change is hard, not because you're not smart or not qualified or not capable, but because you're doing something that challenges your identity, your security, and your habits all at once.
I'm Lisa Harding, ex-EdTech CEO turned certified teacher career coach. It wasn't all that long ago that I was recruiting, interviewing, and hiring teachers for roles in corporate America. Teachers that ended up being some of my all-time best employees. Fast forward through my own career transition, where I left my role as CEO to become a stay-at-home mom, I now work with and empower teachers to transform their lives by turning their once distant career dreams into realities. In this podcast, I give you simple, actionable, step-by-step strategies to help you do the same. If you're a burnt-out teacher or simply need a change and you're looking to create a life you love, you're in the right place, friend. Let's get started.
Hello again, friends, and welcome back to Beyond the Classroom. I'm your host, Lisa Harding. If you're tuning in at the start of summer or counting down those final days, you're probably feeling a mix of emotions. Exhaustion, relief, maybe some hope. And if you're considering a career change, maybe also a heavy dose of uncertainty. Today we're talking about what it really takes to change careers as a teacher. Because if you've ever looked around and thought, why does this seem so easy for everyone else? And why is it so hard for me? You're not alone. And more importantly, you're not doing it wrong. It's way harder than it looks. Career change is hard, not because you're not smart or not qualified or not capable, but because you're doing something that challenges your identity, your security, and your habits all at once. You're leaving something familiar, maybe something you once loved, and stepping into something uncertain. It's not a job search. It's a transformation. And that's why it can feel like an emotional roller coaster. One day you're excited and hopeful. The next you're doom scrolling job boards wondering if you should just renew your contract. 1 minute you're confident. The next imposter syndrome kicks in and you're thinking, what even is a transferable skill? This isn't just you. This is what transition actually looks like. I've coached hundreds of teachers through this process, and here's what I can tell you. It's rarely fast, never linear, and always more personal than people expect. So let me normalize the messy middle for a minute. You might start writing a resume and give up halfway through. You might apply to 15, 20, 30 jobs and hear crickets. You might get an interview and then completely freeze. You might question if you should stay in the classroom, even when your gut says it's time to go. All of that still counts as progress, friends, because career transitions aren't measured in how quickly you land a job. They're measured in how willing you are to keep going even when it's uncomfortable. And sometimes what helps most is hearing from people who've been there, who can say, I felt that same way too, and here's what helped me keep going. That's exactly why I'm so excited about one of the most important panel discussions in our upcoming Teacher Career Transition Summit on Saturday, June 14th. It's called How They Did It, Real Career Change Stories from Former Teachers, and it features 3 amazing former teachers with completely different transition stories. Katie Fielding is now the Education Content Manager at Book Creator. She moved into EdTech by leveraging her classroom knowledge to create content and support tools for other educators. Amy Donato became a professional learning specialist at Elevate K-12, helping train virtual teachers while staying grounded in education, but on her own terms. And Holly Owens has made multiple pivots from teaching to instructional design to podcasting and higher ed, and is now the Director of Growth Marketing at Yellow Day, where she leads from a completely different corner of the education world. They'll all share what actually worked, what didn't, and what they wish they knew. And trust me, none of them had it all figured out when they started. This panel is for anyone who's wondering, am I the only one struggling with this? And the answer is no. You're just in the part of the story that doesn't usually get posted on LinkedIn. There's a reason we resonate so deeply with stories. Stories help us see ourselves in someone else's journey. They help us hear specific strategies that made a difference and discover new job paths that we might not have known existed. And it helps us remember that success doesn't mean easy. And when you hear someone say, I didn't know what I was doing either, but I figured it out, your brain starts to believe maybe you can too. Whether you're curious about ed tech, remote roles, instructional design, coaching, content development, or something else entirely, the sessions at the summit this summer are going to open doors to your thinking. Now, let's talk about something else that doesn't get enough attention: networking. I know, the word can feel intimidating, but networking doesn't have to mean handing out business cards or cold messaging strangers. Sometimes networking just means reaching out to someone on LinkedIn and saying, your story inspired me, can I ask you a question? Following up after a webinar to say, thanks for your advice. Or maybe just grabbing coffee with a friend of a friend who's in a field you're curious about this summer. Having a real human conversation where you ask someone else, what do you actually do every day in your career? And here's the beautiful thing. The summit on June 14th gives you a great place to start. It's live, it's interactive, you'll hear stories in real time and get to connect with speakers and other attendees in the chat. You'll walk away not just with inspiration, but with actual names and faces of people you can follow up with. I've seen it happen. A message in a summit or a webinar chat turns into a follow-up conversation or an introduction or a referral to someone else, which turns into another coffee chat, a referral, and eventually a job offer. Networking isn't luck. It's small moments of connection. And this summit creates the space for those moments. So what does it really take to change careers as a teacher? It takes patience, persistence, support, stories, strategy, and a community to remind you you're not the only one figuring out. And hopefully this podcast has given you some of those things, like stories and strategies and a community. But we want to take it to the next level, and we're so excited about the Teacher Career Transition Summit, where it all comes together. So join us live on Saturday, June 14th. It's free to attend live, it's virtual, it's full of insight, support, and connection. And if you're listening to this episode after that date, you can still grab the recordings or join the waitlist for the next one at teachercareertransitionacademy.com/summit. Thanks so much for being here today. If this episode gave you a little more hope or direction, would you share it with another teacher who's been quietly wondering what's next? Remember, this journey doesn't have to be fast. It has to be yours. And as always, the journey is just the beginning. Embrace the adventure.